So, how would you say the relationship between a coach and an analysis? How important is that to each of them?
I think it's one of the biggest of the lot. We have to spend a lot with the coaches, and if you don't understand or if you doesn't believe in what you do, it doesn't make any sense. Obviously, you need to be very. I mean, to create that building a relationship very early on is very very important. It could be from a language perspective. It could be communicating what he wants, doing some proactive ways of things which he picks up, and you need to understand the small things, which what things he likes, what thing he doesn't like, and try to see if you can create that particular aspect. So many times I've seen sometimes the analyst doesn't sometimes might spend too much of time. Typically, I would say when I was doing it, in order to build a relationship or to understand the game better from his point of view. Okay, I even sometimes go and knock on the door of a coach and say, Coach, can I watch the game with you? So there's a, let's say you're not playing on the same day. There's an opponent playing. Someone else is playing. Typically, every team coach would be sitting on when the actual TV is being broadcasted. So what has to go is like, Coach, is it okay if I sit with you, or I want to watch the game with you? And then you typically learn, and you ask the questions. Like obviously you learn when you ask questions. Like what happened there? Why was he playing outside the ball? I mean, there's so many things which you pick up, and I've learned in kabaddi doing these kind of things, most of the time. And even sometimes you can go and talk to our top players, even not coaches, the top players there, and say, hey, can I sit with you? There's a match. I want to sit and watch with you. Or sometimes when you're going by flight, if he wants to watch, open your laptop and just sit with them and say, okay, hey guys, what happened here? And I've learned a lot with those kind of such environment. Other thing is also on team strategies. Before a match, coaches gives you like so many strategy point of view. So I tend to make a note of it and make sure those are the lessons which the coach was mentioned them before the match, and what are the strategy behind it. It's amazing, yeah. It's very nice to look at. But communication is very important, and how you build a relationship is very much necessary, and that can be done only being more proactive in terms of information. It's very simple. The coaches come here with an objective. He has some set of goals to be done, and can you help him to reach that objective? That should be the way, right? If you can do it, you'll build a relationship. It's not only the relationship building during the season, of the season. How do you connect? Do you meet them quite occasionally? How do you keep them engaged with the information which you have figured it out? So that gives you a lot more time, and I'm actually fortunate enough to say the coaches whom I worked with a long time before, I still have a connection with them, and we keep exchanging some informations about the sport. It's amazing. I mean, you need to create that balance.
That's good. And how important do you think it is for an analyst to actually have some knowledge in the coaching field as well?
Knowledge in
Having some coaching experience or knowledge.
If you'd asked me this maybe 3 years back, I would have said, okay, might not be. What happened is, after working with as an analyst with a couple of teams, I went on to do my D license. Okay. Let me very straight, before the D license, I has to go for a lot of training matches, and I has to see the way the coach has to keep all the markers, and make the team play one touch passes and many things, right? And I didn't know what was it. I mean, it looked so easy, just go keep markers, like a 20 by, I didn't know what was the size of it, but he was doing it. I'm like, what was it? There's nothing unique, nothing great, same thing. And I went and did my just a D license just to understand what goes in. And it opened up so much of information about a coaching perspective. What is a coach? How does he conduct himself? How does he need to have the discipline? Even the get up, the way you to be prepared for a coaching perspective. How do you communicate? How to make it more fun? And coming to the markers, you keep the markers, you have an objective. When you write a logbook saying that today I'm going to teach them high intensive game, small sided game. What is that objective? How do I do a progression on the training session? And how do I end it? Right? So all those things comes in. Today, even if I go and watch a training session being conducted, prior to that, they're putting those markers, I count how many number of steps it takes, because there's a dimension put, right? 25 by 20 or this thing. And we know, okay, there are 10 players, is putting this kind of a mark, and what is the objective of the training session. Previously, I think without that, we didn't know that particular this thing, right? And I would say even in Kabaddi as well, the way the coaches look at their training sessions, right? I've got 10 days, 10 days, I have to work on my attacking, I have to work on my defending. 3 days, I'll work on less defense. 2 days, I'll work on this thing. They do entire scheduling of the training session. That's great. But if you don't understand it, you're like, okay, today we're doing one day, something else is coming up. So you never get to know what's really happening. So this will definitely help you the understanding of the game much better. The coach will also have a good trust on you, saying that you have done some licenses, and then you get to learn those things. And I would say, if you're really looking at for doing a course or a coaching license, definitely you should really look at it looking from an analysis perspective.